Okay, guys, take a look at this score sheet. It is so messy. This is the last round. Let me just get this refocused on myself. Okay, this is the last round of 2013 National Scrabble Championship, where I played in Division 2 and I got, I believe, fourth place. I actually don't remember. Pretty sure it was fourth. Anyways, yeah, this game I knew that I pretty much couldn't win the tournament, and so I was really upset. I think I had just gotten back from a little sobbing session in my hotel room, and I was playing Glenn Dunlop. Glenn Dunlop was a huge surprise um, in this tournament because there were a bunch of new prospects, such as myself, that were probably favored to do well slash win. There's probably six or seven or eight um, players that people expected for sure that they would do better than like any adult player. But Glenn Dunlop somehow made his way to the top of the leaderboard during this event, and he was also later suspended. I think later that year, is suspended for cheating, but not in a in a way that would indicate that he did sort of the same thing during the nationals. So I don't know. I mean, he's a decent player, so I don't think he got there by cheating, but maybe he did. Who knows? In any case, I didn't detect anything. And yeah, this is the last round, round 31 of 31, and Glenn was first to act. So let me fix that. Um, and Glenn opens the game with Dado. Pretty sure he played it there. Um, my first rack was AEOORTU, and I ended up exchanging down to AERT. You could play through this rack if you want. You could play something like Udo for six or Outdo, or play a lot of letters off with like Outroad or Outdoer. Um, but yeah, I elected to exchange. I think that's probably the call here. And Glenn played Oxen underneath Dado, not Oxeb, Oxen for 32. So fully overlapping his first play, scoring nicely. I knew he had an A. I wrote that down. For some reason, I must have spotted that he had an A on his rack. I wasn't cheating. I just somehow saw it. And my rack was this, and I played Treff, highest scoring play. I'm already in sort of a bad position here, since yeah, I don't have an S for Dados. I don't have a blank or anything great. But Treff seems pretty good, or Trafe, if you want to pronounce it well. Um, it doesn't leave much back for Glenn to do unless he has an I and an L or D or S. Then he can score really well underneath. But I knew he had an A, so the likelihood of him being able to make a play with Axel or Axed or even Axes seemed lower than average. So yeah, Chafe comes down and Glenn plays Foe. He still has an A. It's really not a big deal that I know he has an A. You can pretty much always assume your opponent might is pretty likely to have an A, but yeah, I wrote down whatever I could just in case it mattered. So now we're starting this staircase over here. I play J after he plays Foe, and now I'm actually ahead by 4 points. And Glenn decides to play Aha for 14. And normally I'd be very happy to see this. He's sort of breaking the staircase, and he's opening a big spot for me. However, to my PLRT leave, I drew three more consonants. So I ended up having PRRRGLT. And so I was very upset with this draw because I can't capitalize on the opening that Glenn has just made. And yeah, unfortunately, back in the day, I actually need to change the dictionary. This was not an acceptable word, GRRRL. These days, I would be super happy to play that. Um, but unfortunately, yeah, we were playing in the TWL06 dictionary before this was valid play, and my best option here is either to play grat and partially block the spot, or exchange. And I'm actually going to give this a little bit of a simulation just to see how the plays compare. The idea behind grat ties the game up, and prevents Glenn from having the worst possible case scenario plays on the 8 row. However, the benefit of exchanging and leaving the spot open is if Glenn does indeed play on the 8 row on the triple, he's going to be giving me some floating tiles to play through. So I believe that the exchange here was merited. Keeping RT seemed like the best option. And yeah, Glenn plays Claw, so he himself isn't able to capitalize on the spot, or maybe doesn't want to, for reasons I already mentioned. And so to my RT, I draw into ADEGLRTV. That's 8 letters. That's not possible. I don't have an L. Okay. So yeah, here I'd be looking to score some points if I can. I could play something with deft. I'd like to play to this W, but that doesn't seem possible. And so, unfortunately, instead of playing Tav, which I believe I probably should have played, even Trave is fine, I exchanged again. The issue with this is not that it's a bad option to exchange. It's fine, but I'm putting myself in this position where I'm falling further and further behind. So my options of coming back in the game are limited to drawing the right letters to bingo. Whereas if I keep the scoring pressure on, at least I have the option to remain in the game via the scoring route. So, of course, it's very sad for me to play Tav for 20 here, go down 8 points without an S, with the Dados hook, with the Tav's lane that I just created, with the C open. It's a sad situation, but I'm pretty sure this third exchange was probably not the perfect call. But I'm going to give it a simulation and see what Quackle thinks. Yeah, so far it seems about right. It's very interesting that just dropping the G here is doing well. If I draw an O, I get cavorted. If I draw, what else can I even draw? I guess an S, I draw into adverts. And I guess this sort of limits Glenn's options of underlapping J. But it's saying that I bingo 32% of the time, so there must be more bingos than what I'm seeing. It's really interesting fish. Yeah, if you see any more words that I can draw with ADERTV, feel free to let me know in the YouTube comments. I'm a bit slow this afternoon, so not finding everything. But yeah, playing something like Tav, although is very, very bad because it just makes the board very dependent on S's, I think was probably what I needed to do here instead of exchanging. So this seems like a small mistake. I should play through here, I think. So strategy small. But yeah, I'm already in a little bit of a pickle here, for sure. I've now exchanged 3 times in my first 5 moves. And unfortunately, Glenn hits me here with outseen. The blank T, I think, for 65 points. He probably had, yeah, he had a little bit better maybe with Aeneas or Conyers, but outseen is a bingo, and he's now ahead almost 100 points. So you hate to see it. And to my trade, I drew EE. And yeah, unfortunately, there's no bingo here. I could actually make this play of DJ. It seems really good in this position. Um, but yeah, I think I probably quickly played TEE here. A play that makes sense, but it's only 6 points. And I'm down 93. So yeah, I don't think I saw DJ. That's a really nice word. Nice play, but I think I needed to do that instead of T. The idea behind T is the same, actually. Just opening another lane for myself. I now have this C to work with, this N to work with, and this E. They're all on separate parts of the board, so hard to block all at once. Well, impossible to block all at once. And yeah, the idea of DJ, it is a little bit more dangerous to open a triple, and even this B column hotspot, but 19 points, similar leave of AERT versus ADERT. Definitely think that was the correct play. But my play was not terrible, definitely. The E really does help me out to bingo next turn. But yeah, maybe something more. Yeah, D maybe as well is a better option because it opens the N column and I think blocks certain annoying overlapping plays. The problem now is that after I play TEE, if Glenn manages to make an overlapping play on the 14th column, he's not actually opening the 15th column anymore as a triple spot. So if you play something like WHO or something, even though EW wasn't a word yet, just anything like MM or H, not H, but MM, let's say he plays. He's no longer opening 15 columns, so you can be very happy to make that sort of overlapping play. Whereas with D, any overlapping or underlapping play on the 14 row will create play on the 15 row, and any high scoring play on the N column will create play on the O column and on the 15 row as well, potentially. So those are all the reasons that I think I made this play a bit too hastily and maybe tiltedly, and shouldn't have made it. 12A DJ, or even just 12K D. Let's call this a medium mistake. I was definitely frustrated at the tiles I was drawing. Glenn played PU for 18. And here I have a Laterad on my rack, I think. Because I played for 11. How could I have played for 11? Maybe it wasn't that. Maybe it was. Okay. Huh. Maybe I did just drop this A for 11. But yeah, I think this is actually what I did. Yeah, looking really bad. PU is a beautiful play for Glenn because PU is a musical direction, does not take an S, it's not a noun. So now this area of the board is pretty locked down. I'm now dependent on playing a bingo through the E or from the C. So I end up playing LA. This hits a lot through the E, but I'm sort of like blocking my own words from the C. I don't think this is the right play. So yeah, this looks kind of wrong. In any case, the next play from Glenn is Trot for 29. I draw an I and play. Did I play Retailed? Oh no. I did. I didn't play Elaterid for 80. Ouch. I think I remember this now. I think I wasn't like familiar with this anagram triplet yet. Honestly, I still need to. I might want to do something like detail or set up an S hook. But yeah, at this point, I was just really, really upset. What did I do? Did I play it here? Yeah, I played it here, trying to open some stuff on the left side. But yeah, definitely needed to play a Laterid. Oof. Glenn's next play is Vinear, and that's just a massive play. Doesn't create any more openings. It scores super well. Glenn's ahead 100 points here. So yeah, really bad news for me. I have this rack. I play Hod for 24. I don't actually know what my four remaining letters were. Didn't write them down. Glenn plays WO. Oh, it says he scored 20 for that, so maybe he played it elsewhere. No. I think he probably just misscored that. Yeah. So WO for 19, but he said 20. I have this rack, and I really haven't. I need to draw an S or something. Like, things are really bad. I play Glay, trying to create something over here and leave the TING lane alive. Like, maybe I can draw an 11-letter word. And yeah, TA comes down just to block. So yeah, I'm not creating anything that sorry about that, that Glenn can work with here. Or sorry, Glenn's I'm not creating anything that I can work with. Glenn's easily just blocking everything. So this is my rack now. I play QI for 26. Here, Glenn plays Bitting, which I hold for a very long time. I think I wanted to challenge because I didn't know the word. I needed to take anything I could get, but since I still didn't have an S and he was blocking the S lane and creating an opening, I decided to leave it for 13 points. It is indeed a word. I draw into this, and I play, what did I play? Balm 24. Honestly, in this spot, maybe I play something like Cannular. I didn't know that word at the time. Yeah, I play Balm. Hopefully he can't overlap. Now he plays LIU for 6. Yeah. And at this point, I'm just like, I have no idea what to do. I think this is my rack. I played for 4. What was I even going for? Why did I play that? Huh. What does this even do? Why did I do this? Maybe I was fishing for some word that I thought was valid and it wasn't. Or no, sorry, I didn't have the M, I had the U, that's why. Okay. So I played here. That makes so much more sense. Trying to create the lane. Yeah, I create a lane on the 6th row. I keep saying And then I knew that Glenn had the blank here for some reason. And he plays Fum just to block. And I'm just like, okay, well, yeah. That was easy for you. I drew into Energic. Didn't play. So here I play Caring. Just try and open something up. But I know I'm just losing the game. And here, Glenn plays Kings, Scaring. The bag is empty. I have this rack. I have a high scoring play, but it's not nearly enough. Excuse me. Yeah. So on the VUM turn, Glenn told me after the game that he had Skiving and Vikings available. Or maybe he even put them on the board. Maybe he even put them on the board, or one of them on the board, and then took it back. And I was like, how could he chicken out of Vikings? Like, that's such a normal word, isn't it? But when I told the story to people, people were like, "Oh, it could be like a proper noun. It's possible you just chickened out of it." But I was like, I was super upset that I lost to someone that chickened out of Vikings. But yeah, this game was a complete and utter mess. I just wanted to show you guys the last game of the Nationals that I hadn't yet uploaded. Um, and yeah, I exchanged 3 times in the first 5 moves, then scored six, then 11. Yeah, I was just missing a ladderid. Yeah, I didn't play particularly well. I didn't play particularly poorly, but I was just making nothing happen and was pretty much resigned to lose already on like move 7. So yeah, very, very sad game, very sad end to the Nationals, but I ended up in 4th place. Um, with a lot of rating gains and decent amount to show for. Um, Decent games, decent wins over a lot of players, and yeah, slow but steady ascent following that to the top level. So yeah, this is potentially the last game from Unearthing Unfinished Business for a while. I have a lot more games to go through to try and find other ones. But I hope you guys enjoyed the series. This is almost 10 years ago already. I'm about to go to my 10th Nationals. I guess not 10th. It's probably my 8th Nationals because of COVID. But for the 10th year in a row, I've been playing Tournament Scrabble, and if there were Nationals during COVID, I would have gone. Um, and so, yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.